Hey, this is Ginoni, and here's some comic reviews for you. Now, as you can tell from the comic poll, I did not buy Secret Empire. I did read it, though. And I have to say that that artwork was horrible. Uh, I think, I think for me at least, a better way of saying that would be the art did not suit the type of story they were presenting. I think there are like Image books or Dark Horse books that art would be perfect for, but for a superhero book where the guy clearly can't, in that style, cannot draw muscles or like a super heroic body. It just failed. Some of the facial expressions were also just horrible. Total letdown in terms of art. Now, in terms of the story, I mean, Steve is definitely like a master supervillain, but the thing is about this book that I just can't buy it, because I know that, yeah, we're gonna see Steve put all the heroes to the test. There's gonna be ups and downs, big changes in the future, but ultimately we all know that at some point in time, Steve Rogers is going to be Captain America, and everybody's going to forget about this Secret Empire nonsense, especially when there's the Cosmic Cube involved. So, let's just, dude, if you really are a Marvel fan, you need to have everything, buy it. But wait for the trade, at the very least. This book is just, I don't know. I don't think this is going to be that great of a series. If it is, it would completely surprise me. But anyways, let's look at some other books that came out. We have from Image, Redneck. Now, Redneck is a touching family story, actually, of a group of multi-generational people who are living on a farm in Texas. They have a group of little rebellious youngsters who just want to spend time in the city because they spend all of their time at home, and they have an overprotective father who is just only looking out for his young one's best interest. Now, there's another family member who has been around a while, fought some wars like the Civil War, and he basically, says, he's interested in, like, you should ease up on the boys, and then he asks where the boys are going, and the father goes, they're going to a titty bar. And he quickly, admirably, volunteers to look after them. And he goes off to the city, which, obviously, those young rebellious boys get into some trouble. Now, if you couldn't figure it out by my description, this is a vampire tale, and the reason why they're hiding out in the farm in Texas is because the father's actually trying to protect his family from one, becoming murderers and killing people. They basically have cattle on the farm, and they use that as livestock for their blood. And two, he's also doesn't want them to get in trouble because he knows that if they do, they're all going to get killed, type thing, because the people are going to come after them. So, bad things happen at the end of this issue. I thought the issue was pretty decent. I'm definitely willing to give it another try, and I'm hoping for some good things. The art is. I think the art kind of fits the general look and feel of this book. It's really dark. It's dirty. I think it's a fair representation. Plastic is okay. Despite the cover, do not let this cover influence you what the story is about. This here is, I have to fast forward just a little bit because of certain scenes. But the story is a touching story of a man who's just driving with his female companion, and they have a romantic encounter at the side of the road, and he's looking out for her, like he's like asking her, what would you like to eat? She's like, donuts, so he gets her some donuts. And unfortunately, when some locals take things a little bit too far and hit on his female companion, he just goes ballistic and pretty much maims and injures those young individuals. It's actually a really decent fight for what it is. Now, anyways, there is a father who does not take kindly to the beating his son took. And upon doing some research, he discovers that the gentleman is not quite, shall we just say, a normal person. And he has a particular set of skills that he needs. And he has a very delicate job that needs to be handled, that only he could provide assistance with. So, being the young gentleman he is more than willing to help out while the father looks after his female companion. Overall, I mean, I'm gonna get the next issue. This book is just crazy. Super Sons. I really like Super Sons. I love the banter between Superboy and Robin. I thought that to me makes this book, because the way they complain and argue amongst each other, it's kind of like what you think is going on in the head with Batman and Superman. Now they're fighting Kid Amazo, and overall, even though it's a kid version of a supervillain, they did, I thought, a fairly decent job at just explaining the power set, and I thought overall it was I thought it was really entertaining. And again, it's the banter between the two that make it work. You know, Superboy is kind of like the country hick, and Damian is this aggressive, dominating personality, and they just clash, and it works perfectly. Okay, Superman, number 21. Basically, they realize Batman has gone missing, and they're starting to look for him. There's a giant octopus involved in the battle. Overall, I think the art was pretty decent. Now, like, for an example, I think that, for example, this page spread is great, but could you imagine if this was bigger? Just this part, that's just personal thought, but overall, I thought the book was interesting. I did not. A part of me didn't like the way how the book ended, but at the same time, I'm curious to see how everything's going to play out. But overall, I thought it was very, very enjoyable. Okay, this was last week's Suicide Squad, number 15. Well, stuff happens. Deadshot loses an arm. Supervillains are getting killed. Harley Quinn rips open her shirt, and there's just violence. And this is what, to me, Suicide Squad's supposed to be like. So overall, I'm quite happy with it. It's last week's book, so I'm not really going to go too much into it, other than I was very pleased with it. And at the backup story, they explained everything as to what Amanda Waller was up to. So overall, good job. I enjoyed it. And anyways, a word of warning that I wanted to give you guys. There is a thing here that says here, Katana, Amazon exclusive, 12-inch action doll. Get yours today. Just be awesome. Okay. Now, I went to Amazon to acquire said doll because it says, just be awesome, which, I'm awesome, and I can get my doll. But they're actually charging me for this doll, and nowhere does it say I have to pay. It just says, come get it, and come get yours today. And I got the book today, and I went to Amazon today, and yet they're going to charge me for it. I am deeply upset. Very deeply upset. I will have to notify Amazon of their transgression and get said doll. Anyways, if you have any comments or questions, let me know. Like, share. We'll have some more stuff later. So until next time.